Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Leon, and on this channel we go over everything men's fashion and lifestyle. So if that's of interest to you guys, please stick around. Today it's a pretty exciting video because it's around that time of the year where we go over the Uniqlo winter collection. This 2022 collection was pretty exciting to me just because the lookbook had a lot of unique pieces that were still a little bit more out there while keeping with the theme of the winter collection. This year, Uniqlo really killed it with the winter collection, and I just kind of bought a bunch of pieces that caught my eye. This video is going to kind of serve as a pop or drop type of thing where like I'm going to try on the piece in front of you guys, talk about it a bit, and I decide whether I'm going to ultimately keep the piece or return it. Just to preface, I was actually not able to pick up two of the items that I really wanted to get my hands on, unfortunately, which was the Uniqlo cardigan and the utility blouson. But don't worry, I'm still going to go over all the details at the end of the video from some of the pictures, and I'm still going to be showing you guys how I'd style them personally. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so starting off the video very strong, we have probably, admittedly, my favorite piece. And this is actually kind of a cop-out because it technically isn't part of the collection, but it happened to drop around the same time. It's this Uniqlo U Stadium hoodie. What I really like about this jacket is the faux leather sleeves contrasted with like this wool interior. And this piece was so standout to me for a couple of reasons. One, ultimately it was the price. I was pretty intrigued by the $80 price tag. Number two, I think the color is something that really drew me to the item. I've been getting really into these navy tones lately, and this navy wool interior looks so good in person. Even this leather sleeve is something that I would not have expected. On body, I think that this piece fits so perfectly, at least for me. And just for reference, I'm 5'10" and around 160 pounds. The crop on it is perfect. It's not too long, but it still kind of fits that varsity jacket theme. No complaints here really. As to how I style this, I would say it works with a lot of things, but particularly I've actually really liked wearing these with my black trousers and just a pair of boots to give it that slightly elevated fit while still staying casual. Coming in at number one, we got this Uniqlo Stadium jacket. You guys should definitely go check it out. Secondly, we have a pickup that I think you guys might be familiar with. It's the Uniqlo brown wool overshirt. I went over this in my last video if you guys haven't checked it out, but just a quick summary of this piece, because I already went over it in the past video, is that the quality of this jacket is amazing, but there are two downsides for me, which are the color, which I would have preferred in a more caramel, and the length of the torso. Because if you see it on body, you guys will see that it's a little bit longer than I prefer. For overshirts like these, I would prefer it to be sitting on my hip, but it's really not that big of a deal. I'm still definitely going to be wearing this because I think that the overall silhouette of it still looks very nice. But like I said, if it was cropped and it was in a lighter shade of brown, this would have been a no-brainer. Next up, we have the wool v-neck sweater. This is something that caught my eye because I really thought that the color was pretty mild, but still kind of gave it that vintage look, which I thought looked pretty in the pictures. Just a few details about this. I would say that the V is a lot larger than I think that a lot of people would expect. The material is pretty nice to the touch, but actually on body, I felt like it was pretty itchy. Personally, for me, I'm just gonna say it right now, this is definitely a drop. The combination of the itchiness along with that kind of awkward V neckline is something that I just wasn't about. And I actually wanted to find the alternative to a COS knit sweater that I unfortunately didn't pull the trigger on before. Just to sum it up, if I were to style this, I would definitely be wearing a shirt with it. A tank top is definitely a no-go in terms of comfortability. This is a drop, unfortunately, and it is the wool sweater. Next up, we have a piece that I'm actually kind of on the fence on, and it's this crepe wool sweater. What I really enjoy about this sweater is the color. It's labeled as olive on the Uniqlo website, but it's actually a lot more mild than you'd expect. Just the way I'd style this again, I would probably be rocking this with trousers, jeans. It's a pretty versatile piece. I think it works with everything. And unlike the wool sweater in the back, I think that the wool used on this sweater in particular is much higher quality. I don't feel any sort of itching, and it's pretty snug on body. So I would say it's true to size, but if you guys wanted that more oversized look, I would size up, but I wouldn't recommend it just because this is a turtleneck. You guys could, I would definitely say cop this, don't get that. This is much more comfortable. And if you're about it with the turtleneck, I would say this is definitely something that you should be looking at. I also really like this kind of stitching along the neckline of the piece. I think it adds a bit of separation that some of the other sweaters don't really have. You guys should let me know whether I should keep this. It's kind of a 50-50. I think it looks good on me, but my question is, will I be wearing it a lot? It's the U crepe wool sweater. The last piece that I have from the collection is the lined sweatpants in this khaki color. I don't know how the camera is interpreting the color, but I would say that actually in person, it looks much more like a dark green than I would say a khaki, because to me, khaki more implies that like beige look, while this is definitely a lot darker. For certain lighting, it can definitely pass as like a very dark gray. Not to beat around the bush, this is very, very similar to the Ken trousers by Weekday. I really do like the line down the middle of the pants. It just gives it a more elevated look while still being really cozy. And to style these, I would say that it's pretty easy to, I guess, style up. A pretty nice jacket on top, and no one would really notice that these were sweatpants unless you told them. I would say that my biggest con to these sweatpants is the bottoms, and given that they're sweatpants, they're definitely going to be much more casual. This is why this for me is kind of like on the fence of whether I should cop or drop. I don't really see myself wearing this dressing up. I think that the Ami Paris trousers I already have is perfect for that, and if I were to just wear sweatpants, I would just be rocking probably the Cole Buxton sweatpants. So yeah, that wraps it up for the pieces that I have on me with the lined sweatpants. Alright, I have my iPad right in front of me because I'm going to be going over the looks for the utility blouson and the cardigan, which I really pissed that I didn't get my hands on because I really wanted to try them, but you know, it's whatever. I think it's an excellent piece. This is definitely the kind of like flagship item of the collection. I don't actually have it on hand, so I can't really speak to the quality of it, but from what I've heard, the quality of the garment has been excellent. It has this pretty boxy look while still being pretty baggy from what I've heard. Yeah, I think that the details of it, just from looking at the collection, are pretty immaculate. I really like this kind of scoop at the back because even though I really like the silhouette on these models, it looks incredible. Something that I have heard been complained about is how big the sleeve hole is. I heard it's pretty excessive, and it's gonna vary from person to person how they feel about that. And the last thing I'm gonna talk about the collection is the lamb wool V-neck cardigan. I really like this item because I think that the cardigan has a very nice texture given all the ribs on the side. I've seen people wear this with a button up, wear it with a shirt, it looks great. I think Uniqlo is getting very good at giving people what they want, which right now has been a cropped jacket because they don't want it to look like too baggy. Good job to Uniqlo for that. I probably would have gotten it in the dark brown and would have paired it up with a white button up with like a tie maybe. But yeah, that's the last piece in the collection, the cardigan, and we're ending it off strong. Guys, and that is it for this video styling haul. I really enjoyed getting all these items for Uniqlo, and it's my kind of first time doing a haul type video. So if you guys thought that this was a good format, please make sure to comment, leave a thumbs up, you know. Yeah, I think that the standouts for me, definitely the stadium jacket. Everything else, I'm probably gonna keep. We'll see about that. Tell me what your favorite piece was in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. 기대만 하는 것도